Hey everyone, welcome to another video. This one I'm going to be fixing my Tiburon. It's Friday night now and well, I don't anticipate getting it done tonight, but on Wednesday I was starting to hear some noise from my back passenger wheel. Immediately I'm like, oh goodness, the bearings are going or something. And then we're going to investigate to see what it actually is. But I ended up buying a bearing anyway because I drive this car to work every day. I need to get to work. But let's see if that's actually the problem. So with the car jacked up, uh, this is what the wheel sounds like. That should be spinning freely, and it is difficult to turn, so obviously something's up. My immediate worry was that it was a seized caliper or something, but the brakes on this car were just recently done. But if you spin the other side, the handbrake is off, I should mention. The wheel turns freely, no problem. I tested it out yesterday. With the handbrake on, this wheel still won't turn. So it doesn't seem like the caliper's seized. Maybe it's partially seized, if that is the problem. But we got to take off the wheel to find out for sure. And then I'm going to have to take off the brakes to find out again for sure if it is the bearing. I hope it's the bearing, because otherwise I've wasted my money. Okay, so the wheel's off. It's a little hard to demonstrate here. You know, the camera is actually seeing this brighter than I am, so thank goodness for a better camera these days. But check this. Oh, I can't even turn it. Oh no, I can't do it with one hand. You're just gonna have to trust me. It squeaks still. So it's not the wheel rubbing or anything onto the brakes. I'm gonna crack those off, see if it still squeaks afterwards. Well, everybody, turns out I am gonna have to return that piece because it's the brake pads. They are pretty low, not all the way down. There we go, focusing. Not too much left on these, unfortunately. You can see that one side is very low. So, yeah, turns out we didn't need the bearing. Looks like I'll be going back to the parts store for some rear pads, and I'll do both sides because, well, yeah, I may as well. I just dropped the other one, but it looks the same, so okay, I'm gonna pack this up for tonight. Just slap the wheel on there and let her down. We'll pick this up tomorrow. Well, boys, it's a new day, and I have come bearing OE plus brake pads. They're a little bit thicker, as you can see based on the picture, than the ones that came out of there, so let's put these in both sides and then give this car a test. I'm gonna have to return that bearing, but it's not that big a deal. I don't like returning things, kind of just on principle. I feel like that's just wasting resources in this world, but I want my money back. These were 50 bucks. They're a little bit better than the basic store brand ones, and I kind of want to be able to stop now that I drive on the highway every day, so it's worth it to spend a little bit more on brakes. The next step up from these was Brembos, but that was I mean, look at this car, man. Do you think it needs Brembos? After a massive battle. Oh man, it honestly took me an hour just to get rid of the one piston thing, and also I'm using every tool in my toolbox here, but the pistons on these brakes, unfortunately, are not just push in. You have to twist and push, and I don't have the right tool for that, so I've been improvising and my hands are very sore. But the passenger side is done. I just took it out for a quick spin. Everything seems to be working all right. So I'm gonna go outside this time. It was supposed to rain today, so that's why I put my car inside. But yeah, let's get the other side done and then be done with this. My goodness. I'm curious to see how the other side looks considering what the one side did. Like no pads on one side, and if there's pads on this other side, that means the brakes are uneven, which is unideal, but yeah, let's crack it open and see. So here is the other side. Again, the rotor looks fine. Those are my markings there, just feeling it with my glove. Caliper is off. Everything is super salty. But this is the pad. And as you can see, there's a lot of tread left on these bad boys. So I'm actually going to hang on to them just as a backup because it seems like that other side is going out quite quickly in comparison to this side, which would indicate that this side's caliper I should say, probably good. The other side, maybe not so good. Or one of them is not good. Maybe this one isn't stopping or something, but these do look used. It's just unevenly, so not a big deal. I'm going to swap out the pads for brand new ones because you don't just do one side when you're doing brakes. Even if the other side looks fine, you may as well just do it. But I'll hang on to these just as a backup, and we can swap them over to the other side when it eventually does die. The car, when I took it around the block just real quick, actually felt like it was stopping quite a bit better. I had noticed that the stopping was a little weak, so I know the backs don't do too much, but it does make a difference, so I want to make it good. This is that thing that I was talking about here. The piston on these is twisting and not just pushing. This one I won't have to do as much because the pads were obviously not very worn, but my goodness, it is a huge pain to turn these things without the proper tool. So if you're gonna do this, I'd advise look up a piston pushing and also twisting tool. I don't know what they're technically called. Don't just do it with a pair of pliers like I am, because I am going to lose my mind trying to get this final one done. I'm just happy the other one actually got in. I was worried I was gonna have to go try and find a caliper somewhere, and yeah, I gotta go to work on Monday, so it's not easy to do on a Saturday afternoon.